Oh, good evening, all. This is Annie D at your service. I'm just fixing my earpods there. And of course, today's show is by Royal Command as I talk to Manvendra Singh Gohil today, the Prince of Rajpipla of Gujarat. And I'm going to have to get my glasses on for this because there's so many messages coming in. I have no choice. Good to know, Manvendra Singh. Thank you. You're here. Fantastic. Anshit, very nice to know that you're in. Now, of course, this Cinderella is going to have to keep her glass slippers inside the cupboard. You know, my one chance, I'm telling you, only because he is India's first openly gay prince. But the sacrifice is all worth it because he does amazing work supporting the LGBTQ plus community. And he is one of the faces of gay pride processions, not only in India, post 377, section 377, which decriminalized same-sex relationships, okay, but also abroad. So I'm really excited. We both decided, well, the only thing we have in common is that we're both rubbish at technology, but we are going to try it. And we did argue about who's going to send who a request. But I did say to him, okay, I will receive it from you because I am your obedient servant today. So let's try. Let's see if it works. Okay, right, okay, here we go. So are we here? So are we sending a request or shall I, sir? Oh dear. Right, I'm going to have to tick it, I think. Request, yes, add. I think I think we have success. Do we? We're going to find out. We'll find out quite soon. Of course, Shivin, great to know that you're in as well. We are connecting. Oh, hello, we did it. We did it. We
Yeah, hi,
froze it.
how are
Hang
you?
on. Hello, hello.
Yeah. Are
Absolutely
you,
fine.
am
Oh
I
gosh, the
audible?
connection. It's
I- Am I audible?
but yes, you can. You can get a bit. You are, but do you think you can put the volume up a bit more, maybe? Possibly?
Okay, I'll
Or
try.
shall we just leave it as is? We don't want to mess around with the
Yeah,
phone.
yeah, that's the highest. Yeah,
Well, we both
yeah,
decided
I
this
will
is
come a little
we're
closer.
just going to get through.
Yeah.
Karthik, good to know that you're in. So lots of people in today, Madhumena. Thank you so much for coming on today. I know that you're a busy man. It is Gay Pride Month, but thank you so much for your time today. Absolutely fantastic. Now, look, here's the question for you. I'm going to jump right in. Okay,
Yes,
can you hear me clearly? So
yes,
because
yes, yes, very well.
yeah, I'm quite loud, aren't I? Well,
Yeah, yeah,
this
yeah.
this this commoner is asking, what is it like for, in a day for a prince? Give me your normal routine for a prince. Tell me this. I just have to
Uh,
know.
Annie, now we are no less than commoners because now we don't have those rights, these privileges or titles were taken away by the government in
Oh,
1970.
yes.
Yeah, but we still do enjoy some ceremonial powers, and we do get invited as chief guests for some
Uh-huh.
functions or to inaugurate some events and all that. So
Hmm.
there's no fixed routine as such, but yes, there's a lot of work to be done, and I mean I am of course
Yeah.
involved in a lot of social causes, health,
Yeah.
agriculture, heritage preservation, LGBT
Yeah.
rights. I mean there's LGBT rights is just one part of my life, but I'm doing
Lots of other stuff.
working for a lot of other issues. So, but what happens is we become ambassadors for our small little the erstwhile princely towns we belong to,
Yeah.
and because of the work which my ancestors have done for the development of this town, so
Hmm.
people they trust us more than the government.
Oh,
So there's any
okay.
issue, there's no like for example now also because of the COVID-19 there was not some facilities for the hospitals available. They got in touch
Yeah.
with me, got in touch with the government to ensure that the medicines and things are taken care of. So little things they like they need our support for that, and I'm
Yeah.
all the more happy to help them out if it could
Yeah.
help out the community for a larger cause.
Oh, brilliant stuff. There's no time for me then. But I'll tell you something. So going back, you said you did a lot of work with the LGBTQ plus community.
Yeah,
Now, I have to say, going back to your sexuality, you came out, and if I'm correct, please correct me if I'm wrong, in 2002 to your parents, and in
yeah,
2006 kind of publicly to a journalist.
correct.
Am I correct?
Yeah.
Ah,
Yes, that's
right. So, I mean, I just have to know, honestly. You then
That
got married.
and
You also, but
Annie, just to interrupt, the journalist who brought good my breaking story, she's just joined in on Instagram.
oh, oh, brilliant,
Yeah. Yeah.
brilliant.
Hello, Chirantana. How are you? I just
All right.
sending her.
I wish we had an audio for her so she could say hello too.
Yeah,
So
she'll definitely have seen me. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So an important question is, so when you first came out to your parents, what was
Mhm.
that like? What was going through your mind at the time?
See, I didn't come out to my parents. I had this nervous breakdown, and the doctor
Mm.
was treating me. The psychiatrist, he volunteered to come out to them because he got to know that the stress which I am having, because of which the nervous breakdown has happened, is because I am forcing myself to live a closeted lifestyle,
Yeah.
whereas I wanted to be out. So
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't have the, frankly speaking, I didn't have the courage to tell them.
Yeah.
So the psychiatrist, he was very much gay friendly, very
Yeah.
supportive. So he decided, he said, okay, I'll explain to them. So
Okay.
yeah.
Right. I mean, so how did you know, when did you know that you were different? Did you know that you weren't attracted to women, or did you realize that you were attracted to men? At what point did you realize?
So see, I didn't know that this behavior of mine is called gay or queer or homosexual.
Hmm.
I didn't have a name for it, but I knew that I was different because I
Yeah.
studied in a co-ed school, and though I liked the company of girls more than the boys,
Mm.
but I was not sexually attracted towards the girls.
Yeah.
And I also hated when the boys used to tease the girls. So the girls also were very fond of me. You know, they
Yeah.
I, I had more. In fact, I will say I had more girlfriends than boyfriends in school. You know,
A
so,
heterosexual dream.
yeah. So yeah. So but little did they know that I have no attraction towards them. It was just a
Yeah.
friendly gesture between me
Mm.
and the girls whom I knew. So, and I was the only one in the class who had this experience, but I
Mm.
didn't know that what is this called, and I was thinking all throughout that this is just maybe a temporary phase, like sometimes we have some
Yeah.
phase in our lives which is just for that period, and then as I grow older, I'll be getting out of this phase, and things
Yeah.
will become as I will be as like other boys are, and I will also like to tease the girls,
Yeah.
kind of,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. So, but that did not happen. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was much later. Like I've gone through a whole marriage and divorce, and a lot of things happened. And it was much
Mm.
later when I was 30 years old, in 1995. I was 30,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
I came to terms with my sexuality with the help of a gentleman whom I call my godfather. His name is Ashok
Hmm.
Rao Kavi, who's
Hmm.
the first gay to come out in India.
Oh,
So
right.
so he was the one who meant not just helped me, but he helped thousands of people all over India. So that's
Mm.
why he's like our godfather, and
Yeah.
he was the one who made me feel proud of my sexuality.
Yeah.
So imagine it took me 30 years to realize
God.
who I am and what is my identity.
Yeah. Because you voluntarily got married, didn't you? Nobody forced you,
Yeah,
as far as I
yeah,
know.
definitely. I got violent because I didn't know I was gay. I mean, I didn't know
Yeah.
why this behavior, and so I got, when I became of marriageable age, I was shown a number of princesses, and I selected one, and
Yeah.
it was my choice. My parents didn't force me to
Yeah.
get married.
Right. So how did they react when they found out, though?
My parents?
Your parents, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So for their first, this was denial. When the
Yeah.
psychiatrist broke this news, it was because I think that happens with most parents. And then
Hmm.
they went on to say, "Oh, he had so many girlfriends in school. So all the
Yeah.
Bollywood. I studied with a lot of Bollywood children, and
Yeah.
now also there are some of them are in Bollywood. And
Mm.
he said there were so many girlfriends all around him. So how can he be gay? So they were not
Yeah.
able to understand that. Then they were like, the psychiatrist did a lot of counseling and made them realize, no, 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 he may have girlfriends, but he may not have attraction towards them. It doesn't mean that
Okay.
your son is straight if he has girlfriends.
Yeah.
So then he managed to uh, convince them, and it
Mm.
took a while. I was 15 days in the hospital, trying to get treatment and all. And then he said finally one thing. He said, "Look, your son is in a very bad condition. If you don't accept him, it may go worse. He may get paralyzed. He may go into coma.
Yeah.
So it's up to you. If you want to see him discharged and healthy, then you have to accept the way he is, rather than making arguments and all that." So
Yeah.
then finally they kind of accepted. And
But was the how long did it take them to accept? I mean, did you go through anything? I mean, from what, I know in old England, they used to try certain techniques, wondering, if they could convert a person. Yeah.
So this acceptance was very short lived. Moment I came out of the hospital, they said nothing doing. Now you have to do what we say, and we are taking you to a doctor and getting your surgery done to make you straight. So I don't know what surgery is there.
What surgery?
Yeah. So anyway, but that also didn't work out. Then they said, forget India, we will send you to America, because now the science has advanced so much that there is definitely a cure in America. And they said we can even try shock therapy and all that also. But there also they didn't work. Fortunately for me, I had doctors who were very sensitive. So because why? Because in 1995, the Humsafar Trust, which is the first organization in India to start working on the LGBT, started with the help of Ashok Rawat. So, and I came out to my parents in 2002. So in 7 years' time, a lot of medical practitioners, doctors have got sensitized already. So it kind of helped, And then took the path of religious conversion. So they started taking me to religious leaders, saints, and both men and women to tell them to give me some words of wisdom so that I change my behavior, And I also cooperated. I went to each and every religious person. They dragged me for three years. They tried from 2002 to 2005. They tried me. I became vegetarian for that matter.
You're joking.
Yeah, and then one of them told me, there's one god called Ram.
Yeah.
So one guy told me, every night you have to write Ram Ram in your notebook before you go to sleep. So I did that. I must have filled at least 5 to 6 notebooks writing that Ram Ram one line in the last 3 years, from 2002 to 2005. I did that. One guy told me you do meditation. One told me you wear this on your wrist. Another one told me you wear that, and all sorts of things. And Annie, instead of becoming straight, I became more gay in the 3 years.
This how funny is this? I was going to ask you. Actually, is this where the activist was born?
Yeah, exactly. So then they got fed up of the religious means also, and then they started threatening me, torturing me, and they said, now we are going to remove you from this business, and we'll remove you from this, because in royal families, we are all having so much of properties and trusts and things. Then they started, like my mother had a gas station also. She said one fine day she came up with this idea, the gas station company says the gay cannot be a director. So I'm removing you from the gas station. I said, okay, I mean, if that's the policy, then fine, So she removed me from the gas station because she wanted.
Oh gosh,
you're going to become. Please don't take me out of the gas station. I'll become straight for your sake. That was their expectation. So So anyway, so that didn't happen. Then they started threatening. Okay, we'll tell this one, and that one will stop talking to you. That one will stop, having contacts with you and all that. So then I said one fine day, enough is enough, and this journalist just now who's joined in here, she came up with this idea that she wants to interview me, and I said I was totally fed up of my harassment and my torture and all.
I can imagine.
I said my mother is going to tell A and B and C. I said I'm going to tell the whole world. Let her do what she wants. Let her do whatever she wants, and that's how this thing happened. Yeah.
To be honest, you did, because post 2006, I mean, as far as I can see, you went to Oprah Winfrey. Kim Kardashian called you. You've been on Channel 4. Where have you not been? So what did you hope? So tell us a little bit about that. So with Oprah Winfrey, what did you hope to achieve by going on shows like this, though?
So Oprah Winfrey was, of course, a turning point in my life because it was just a year after my coming out, and I think Oprah's invitation brought me a lot of invitations coming from so many countries around the world. I think I have never traveled in my life as much as I traveled after coming out. And my passport got full. Of the stamps. I had to apply for a new passport because my pages got over. So I was invited to Australia, Brazil, Europe, so many countries, US, of course, and so many places in Asia. And all the invitations came because they saw me on the Oprah show, and they wanted to invite me to inaugurate Pride, to have dinner with French President Nicolas Sarkozy and Carla Bruni, to meet the Australian ministers, the ambassadors, judges of high courts, governors of state, Hollywood, United Nations, and whatnot. I can't even keep a count of how many people I've met so far. And I took that opportunity to do this international advocacy for our rights. I said, living within India, you will not be able to achieve as much as if I go out and I can talk to people and get them to accept us and get them to because if a minister talks to a minister in India, that makes a difference. If the prime minister of a country talks to the prime minister of India, that makes a difference. If a judge talks from Australia to Indian judge, that makes a difference. So that was a modus operandi I started doing to get to influence upon the mindset of India to accept us the way we are.
So basically, you used your status to really kind of propagate the point.
Yes,
fantastic. But also, your life became exciting because you were non-heterosexual. I mean, in a way, would you say it was a good thing in that way? Because
of course. I'm so happy with my life. Like sometimes I think, that I'm so happy I was born gay, and if I get a next birth also, I would wish I should be gay then also, because
you're alive.
Life is so colorful, we people are. We have got creativity, we got color, we have so many things in us, and we can do so many things in life. I mean, I'm sorry to say, but you guys, your heterosexual life is boring,
you know what? My mom might be watching, so I'm not going to say anything.
Y'all get married and then produce babies, and then you just bring them up, educate them, get them married, and it's so boring. Our life is much better.
The rainbow logo. So tell me, your parents, I mean, have they accepted you now? Or have things stayed the same?
What interesting thing happened with and I'm talking especially in the case of my father. I mean, in spite of disowning, disinheriting, all that happened. But these shows took place and a lot of media sensitization and all happened. So one fine day, he just out of the blue said, I want to gift you this 15 acres of an estate and ancestral property which my great-grandfather had developed. And that property came in my name. On that property, I decided to create this campus for the LGBT community with a shelter home and a lot of facilities. When I started the work, I asked my father, I said, since you have gifted this land, would you mind coming and laying the foundation stone? And he came. And in Indian rituals, we have a long puja and, so the first coconut and the brick which went into laying the foundation stone of a LGBTQ campus was done by my father.
Wow!
So you can imagine the homophobic behavior from truth. And he had given an interview to one of the newspapers here, and in which he has said, "I have acted in anger," and he has praised me in that interview that I've been a very gifted individual. But he said the veil, parda nashin is a word in Hindi, but it's called, those who wear the veil. And the conservative society instigated him to take this step to go against me. So he's blaming the society. He's blaming the conservative society that they forced me. He said, I would not have done this. And he said, I regret. In the interview, he has mentioned, I regret taking this step. And I wouldn't have done it, but the society forced me to take this step of going against me.
So what do you think
So,
led to the softening in his attitude? Was it because he saw everybody accepting you, except him?
yeah, see, a lot of things happened. Like one was, of course, the media. Media was like, started giving very positive stories, and the fact that mine was the first interview which came out so positively in a vernacular medium newspaper, not even English.
Yeah.
So, television, print, media, radio started giving very, very positive stories. Bollywood started changing its behavior because when you see, I mean,
Yeah.
Indians, are crazy after Bollywood, and my father
Yeah.
is a movie fan. He loves to see movies and television and all. So when you see people whom you admire and whom you get influenced when they come on the television or the big screen and talk positively about us, that also
Yeah.
changes your. And then of course Oprah was there and many shows. In fact, I don't talk to him much because in royal families, of course, we are still having a lot of formal relationships with each other. But whenever he
Hmm.
talks to friends and when they come and tell me, he say, "Oh, your dad's so proud that of you that you were invited by Oprah." He keeps telling us,
Wow.
that that
Things have
you
changed.
because I'm the only member of a royal family from India to be invited by Oprah.
Yeah.
No royal has gone as yet, to her show.
In your life, I
So
see a first for everything.
yeah. So
Oh,
he takes pride in that. He talks. He doesn't know much about the Kardashians because uh, the old generation is more towards Oprah than Kardashian. Yeah,
yeah,
Kardashian is
yeah.
more for the young generation. But
Mm.
that's how the change happens. When you get influenced by a lot of people. Not just that. Like today, my organization Lakshya Trust, which is dedicated for the LGBT community, has won several awards from the
Yeah.
government, from United Nations, from Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So that news
Yes.
comes. Yeah, he's been for my Lakshya function events whenever. In fact, once he came for one of my events and he told my staff that, look, please support him. I'm not telling you because he's my son, but please support him for what he's doing because he's working for a good cause. You know,
Gosh, look at that. What
so
a turnaround.
that's how
360 change.
you can make, and that's why I say that it's not difficult to change the homophobic mindset. When people
Yeah.
come tell me, oh, there's so much of homophobia, I said, why don't you all put an effort to change that homophobia? It's
Hmm.
up to us how we handle that person and how much we can. You have to remove. See, the unfortunate thing is in India, even though we come from land of Kama Sutra, sex
Yes.
education is only not taught to us. So how are the people going to know about LGBT issues and all
Yeah.
that? So, but
Well,
we need to educate them.
yeah. So even if we did, I'm not even sure that that kind of that section, that chapter
Yeah,
would even come up. No, so
right, right.
does it not beg the question sometimes? Do you not lie there and think, well, I told you, Dad, but you didn't listen. Why did it take, Oprah Winfrey? Why did it take Kim Kardashian? Why did it take media to convince you? Do you not sometimes wonder why he didn't listen to you?
Hmm. No, I mean, as I told you, we don't have that formal talks. I mean, even not just in my family. If you see most of the royal families in India, the children
Hmm.
and parents are still very formal with each other. So
All right. Okay.
yeah, so that chance of talking to him was not did not arise. But like
Yeah.
through this education and through this awareness which was spread, seeing my photographs coming in newspapers and television and this and that,
Hmm.
so that automatically, it brings a change in you because and
Yeah.
especially and see, Annie, it's very important. Who brings the change? The people who are not LGBT. You know,
Yeah.
they are the ones who are I consider as the most important persons for us.
Yeah.
They are allies. Like I see you as a very important ally.
Yeah.
If you tell somebody who is homophobic, it will make more difference than somebody who is from the community telling that person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So so now here's the date. So I want to know how it happened. So is it 6th of September 2018? So this was very momentous. I hope I've got my
Annie, do
dates
you, do
right.
you, do you know 6 September? What does it signify?
Well, I know what it does for the community. Is there some other significance?
69.
Right, 69. Of
See,
course.
the date was also chosen. I mean, I didn't choose the date; it was chosen by the judges. But isn't it interesting that 69? Uh,
Well,
uh,
just to let you
uh,
know how
yeah.
significant that number is. Now, just between me and you, I hope nobody listens to this, but it's also my date of birth as well. My year of
Oh,
birth, sorry. So
oh,
six,
I
yeah, so it
see.
all comes together.
Ah, okay, okay, okay. Wonderful. See, another coincidence. Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Sorry to
so
interrupt you. You were
we
telling
were
me about.
meant to be. So,
Yeah, you
but
said something
yeah,
about
so
60,
on that
6, 7.
very day, at that moment,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
were
yeah.
you doing at the time when it
I
came
was,
through?
yeah, actually what happened, I had gone to my office, which is in the city of Vadodara, it is called now Baroda in Gujarat, where the Lakshya Trust is there
Yeah,
for some work. One day before I had
yeah.
gone, and the media had kind of knew that next day the verdict is coming. So, and they also came to know that I am there. So they had already started bothering me from the previous day,
Yeah,
the television and everyone. So
yeah.
and I didn't take it that seriously. I said, it might get postponed. You never know. Sometimes it's not necessary that the judgment has to come today. So I went to my office and doing
Mm.
my work, and then suddenly I get calls coming, and then I just had my morning cup of tea. That's it.
Hmm.
I did not eat my breakfast. I did not eat my lunch. I did not have my evening tea. I did not have my dinner also.
Yeah.
The whole day,
Wow.
I was just in posing in front of cameras or radio
Yeah.
stations calling, print media, podcast, this, that. There was endless. I had to. My phone rang so much that the battery died out.
Wow.
So there were people who were frantically trying to get hold of me. BBC was trying to get hold of me from US, sorry,
Yeah.
UK. There were other media from Australia and America, and they all trying to get hold of me, but I was not, I was so busy that day that
God.
I told you I had to skip all my meals and everything. I didn't even have time to drink water also.
Yeah, God. No,
Yeah.
I remember that day, and I remember when the decision came through to amend Section 377. I was working at Radio 1 in Delhi that time. I was the morning show host. I almost fell off my chair. Everybody
Uh,
was in shock. And I think it was just unexpected. Oh my God, we've got so many people as well joining you just to see you. Can you see this and listen
yeah,
to you
I'm seeing
today?
from somebody from
Yeah,
Mexico.
yeah, all over the world, which is fantastic. And they're all, which is brilliant. I'm loving this actually. So in fact, if you want to say hello to anybody, you can in between. Don't worry about
Yeah,
anything.
let me see. I'm seeing down also, and I'm
Yeah,
looking at you also. Yeah, yeah. Anyway,
right. Yeah. So, you talked about the Luxor Trust. So what are the different things that you're doing? You've got the Luxor Trust. You also come to Delhi, don't you? The
yeah,
HIV Centre that you're also
yeah,
supporting.
yeah,
So what are
yeah.
the different things that you're doing?
So Lakshya Trust primarily we started with the help of the government of Gujarat, state government. We got a project for them for HIV/AIDS and prevention and awareness amongst the men
Hmm.
having sex with men population and the transgender
Yeah.
population, which was very good because imagine getting government support the same year in which you're starting
Yes.
your work. Then we started moving on to other issues like mental health issues, aging issues of the
Yeah.
LGBT. We were the first organization to work for the wives of gay men because I
Wow.
mean in India, 80% of gay men are married to women. And imagine
Gosh.
what the wife doesn't know that she's getting married to a gay man, and then some wives they came to us, and that's how I started. And
Yeah.
then we decided let's move ahead and let's not just concentrate on the LGBT community because I am a person who believes in inclusion and not exclusion. So we
Mm.
started working for women issues,
Yeah.
women rights. So we work for the domestic violence against women.
Hmm.
In India, we have a lot of people, a lot of dowry cases happening. Though
Yeah.
dowry is illegal, but people still demand dowry. So there's bride burning happening, the husband beating up the wives, all those harassment cases. We started taking up those legal matters also.
Mm. Oh,
Then we,
lovely stuff.
yeah, yeah. So we work for all women. We work for straight women, bi women, lesbian women, all women we work for. Then we started working for tribal rights also, because
Yeah.
ours is a tribal area. So we said why not? They also, some of them are, they're marginalized and they need
Mm.
support. So we started working for them. We started working for animal rights as well. So we did a lot of things under Lakshya.
Yeah.
And then this dream project of mine was there, that I want to make this campus. Unfortunately, my father gifted me this land. Otherwise, to get this much of land also, it's so
Yeah.
expensive. So this is a 15 acres of land, and very good. Hi, Rupika, nice to see you. Rupika is here.
Yeah.
This why this dream project came, because I realized that if I can put into so much of harassment and torture by my parents for just speaking the truth, just by coming out, imagine how
Yeah.
many children all over India or in the world would be suffering just if they have to tell the parents they are gay. So why
Yeah.
not I start making this kind of a center or a campus where I could have a shelter where they could come and stay if they are thrown out of the homes, so that they don't
Yeah.
have to be on the streets and face depression. Then I
Yeah.
started. Then I thought, let me start skill center, because just refuge is not enough. They
Yeah.
need to learn some skills, get trained, and most of us, you would agree with me, are already talented, or we have a
Yeah.
natural talents and skills. We just need to know how to use that talents
This is
to
it.
commercially make money. I mean, commercialize
Yeah.
it. Because like we do makeup, choreography, photography, dance, drama, theater. So many things are there. So I'm making a skill center there. I'm also, because I'm already working for the health ministry in the state. I have thought, let me even provide a health medical center where I could provide all kinds of health issues,
Yeah.
not just sexual health, but like allopathy, naturopathy, Ayurveda. I happen to be a student of music, and I have seen that music helps so many psychosomatic disorders. So now I'm introducing
Yeah.
music therapy also, and I'm making a music
Okay.
room, and so
I mean,
many things.
how
So
do you
then,
get time in the day? How do you get time in the day?
that's a very,
Manvendra.
difficult thing for me. I always think 24 hours are not enough. There should be more than 24 hours a day. But then,
Absolutely.
unfortunately, we cannot do
And
anything
this
about
is,
that. So, yeah. So
yeah.
there's so
But
many
you're
things:
also
yoga,
working with the gay
meditation.
pride processions, aren't you? You were
Things are there.
frozen a bit there.
Of course, there are people who are there to help. I started delegating work. First I used to do one man show. Then I realized, no, this this is not happening. Otherwise,
Yeah.
time will come. And another thing is,
No, fair enough.
we need to prepare the next generation also. I mean, I am now
Yeah.
55 now. I may live for another 40 years. I wish I live for 100. and but
I'm
then
sure you will. Good karma.
everyone has a time. We all have to go one day. So I started
Yeah.
preparing the young generation. I said, somebody must take responsibilities, and I start delegating the responsibility to the younger generation. So
Yeah.
that's how I'm these days managing. Yeah.
Right.
So that
So,
all has been.
so now in the, it's just so much that you do. But, a little bit about the procession this year, this month, because it is Gay Pride
Yeah.
Month.
Yeah.
And with the pandemic, everything, it's taken a turn. So are we confirming it's on the 27th of June? Is that the date that we're
27th, yeah.
looking at for the
Yeah,
procession?
27th. Yeah,
Right.
27th is going to be the virtual Pride, because this time we are not having any Pride on the streets. It will be all,
Yeah.
we'll be viewing it on your laptops or tabs or phones or whatever. It's all going to be on the net. So 27th is the main global Pride, and there are a lot of other events happening before and after. Like different parts of the world are having New York. I think New York Pride is happening
Yes.
a day later or day earlier. I don't remember, but yeah, 27th is the main day.
Yeah. So what
And
kind of viewership are you expecting?
I mean, the media is saying something like 3.5 million or something. I
Wow.
don't have the exact figures, but yeah, it's something, not million or billion. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure the system could handle it.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge. I mean, it's going to be much more than the physical Pride, because imagine.
Yes.
The entire world will be viewing it, and most of us are forced to be at home. So
Yeah.
that will give us all the more chance to see it. And
Yeah.
I have been it's been such an honor that the Global Pride has decided to show my speech on the 27th, along with the other world leaders. That's the Prime Minister of Luxembourg and the President of Costa Rica, and my name is there with that. So
Brilliant.
I'm really honored that
Lovely stuff.
my talk is. I already sent my speech, and
Yeah.
on Google.
Oh, good luck. Good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, oh, a bit. Right. So I think connection's going there. Hang on a second. I think it's freezing. Oh gosh, we're just going to
Come.
wait for the connection to come back here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's just freezing a bit. Yep. Well, it's gone again.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So it is kind of freezing in between. But, great stuff. Good luck for that. And I'll definitely be watching. Now, what I have read, well, I think I listened to one of your TED Talks. I think that must have been one of them. And I remember you saying that you were inspired by Mahatma Gandhi because of his
Yeah.
attempt to change a mindset without violence. I
Hmm.
mean, apart from everything that you've done, and, did you know that you are also an inspiration to the film world? And I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you this little story. So forget what I know now. And I have to, there's a shout out to Nupur Mehrotra, who actually brought this story to my lap. And I remember the day, and I interviewed her and her team for this short movie called The Lonely Prince. And I interviewed the team for their movie on Radio 1 at the time. And I did not realize, now she's a producer and she's her production Angel Films. And I didn't realize at the time that she'd worked at the NAS Foundation. She'd worked closely with Angela Gopalan. And,
Hmm.
obviously an institution that supports the LGBT, Q plus rights and everything. And she was so inspired by it. And I didn't realize at the time that you were the inspiration for that movie. So, she's co-produced the movie with Rupika Grover, who has joined in, and she's here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a wave to you. And also the
Yeah.
movie directed by Shivin and Sunny as well. Now it's
Yeah.
called
Yeah.
The Lonely Prince. And to think
Hmm.
that you were the inspiration. And I only found out after we had chatted. I didn't
Yeah.
even know then when I'd interviewed them for the movie. Oh, do you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I don't remember, was it Shivin or Sunny? One of the boys got hold of me, and they said, we want to meet you, and we are in Mumbai. So I went and met them, and then that's when I came to know they had called me for dinner to their home, and that's when they came to know
Yeah.
that they were inspired from my story, and they are making this film called the Lonely Prince. And
Prince, yeah.
Yeah, lonely. Yeah. So I was thinking to myself, I'm not lonely. Maybe this is some other prince.
That's what I was going to say. Hardly.
But
Not
I just
anymore.
thought, yeah, but yeah, not anymore. So anyway, but I had got a chance to watch that film, and it has really been made beautifully well. Very good location they got. Location is in one old palace fort in Rajasthan, which is also being owned by a friend of mine, Aman Nath, and who also happens to
Yeah.
be gay.
Yeah.
The location was lent there, and it's a good story and good concept is there. And now I'm hearing that it's being selected for the LGBT festival in Hong Kong and Honolulu. And I don't know one more
Wow.
place. I think, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
forgetting the name. Yeah, so I'm really happy that the initiatives have proved like worth it, and I mean my inspiration has led them to make this film, and more of these films should be made. That's important. I think these are the
Yeah.
films which will inspire other people to make films on our issues and with good concepts.
Yeah.
So that's what is something which we all need to be done
Yeah.
at this time.
So
Yeah.
there could be a sequel, The Once Lonely Prince. So we don't know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so who knows? I mean, fantastic stuff. So I mean, it's a small world. I didn't know then, and I know
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Where the inspiration came from. So amongst the many things that you do, and assuming you had 48 hours in a day, would you ever consider going into movies then?
I have acted in a lot of movies, but yeah, of course, documentaries. I've done a lot of documentaries. I have acted in a feature film also, which was one of the first film
Wow,
in India
I didn't know this.
on an
I didn't.
LGBT issues. Yeah, yeah. It's called Yours Emotionally.
Oh,
I have a very small role.
okay.
I was the villain. I was the villain in the film. So imagine first film I'm the villain. So,
Lovely.
yeah, and there are these two boys who are in love, and I'm kind of trying to separate them, in that
Yeah,
film. So it was British. It was a British production made by a friend
yeah,
of mine. So yeah, otherwise, like I'm not a good actor. After doing that film, I realized that I'm not a good actor. I can do my role well, but when I'm told to do something with the dialogue and all, I'm hopeless, so better not to go in for
No,
the films.
let me tell you. So then,
Yeah.
by the way, there's a director that has actually tuned into this conversation. His name is Jonathan Augustine. I've actually interviewed him.
Ah,
And
okay.
the classic thing about him, he when he did his movie, The Lift Boy, he didn't take on people that could act. He took on people with the right attitude. So you do have a future. Let me tell you, got
Ah,
nothing
okay.
to do with your ability. So there is
Okay.
potential.
Yeah. There's no harm in trying, I mean, I don't say no to any opportunity because you never know
Yeah.
what that opportunity might lead to. So,
This is it.
yeah.
I mean, how much more is there left for you to do? This is it. But listen, to every story, now, I like happy endings. I really do, because I
Hmm.
like to be left with a really good feeling at the end of a movie. Now, I have to say, congratulations. I mean, you're not alone anymore, are you? I mean, I hear that you have a
Yeah.
partner as well.
Yes, yes. I have a partner. Yeah, I found my love around 7 years back. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm with him. Yeah, he's a very good support to my cause, my issues, and my
Yeah.
activities, what I'm all. And I think it's a good thing because we all need, at the end of the day, we need a companion. We can go back
Yes.
and share our issues, our feelings, somebody to listen to us. Because
Yeah.
if there's nobody to listen, then you end up in a lot of mental health issues and all many
Yeah.
things. So there's somebody to share my emotions, share my
Mm.
happiness. So I'm very fortunate that I found somebody
No, but I
like
don't
that.
know when you get to meet with everything that you do. How much time on average do you spend with him in a day? I just want to
No,
know.
poor thing. He has now got used to my lifestyle, so he
Yeah,
doesn't get disappointed. He's a very
yeah,
flexible person, and that's also necessary, because
yeah.
in lives of like the kind of life I live, anyone will get frustrated, because I'm
Yes,
not able to
I
give
can
time.
imagine.
Yeah, but fortunately, his mindset is such that he has accepted that, and he encourages me on the
Yeah.
whole. He says, "Look, I am there for you, but you are also needed by the society. You are needed for the larger cause." So
Oh, the
I would
perfect
yeah,
partner.
yeah, exactly. So it's very
Oh,
important to
oh.
get somebody like that to who encourages me to do the work rather than give time to
Mm.
him. Yeah.
Well, you just a very quick question. Now we're coming towards the end, and I know that you're going into an interview with, Selena Jaitley after
Yeah.
this. So you're moving on from me very quickly. So, but so are you thinking of adding to your family? I mean, are you thinking of adopting? Because I know even as royalty, there is the pressure to obviously carry on the line. Are you thinking of adopting or doing anything?
The adoption in our families is happens. I mean, I don't say it doesn't happen. My own dynasty started with an adoption 650 years ago. For us, the
Yeah, wow.
adoption is necessary for taking the lineage ahead.
Yeah.
Personally, if you ask me, I'm not in favor of human kids because then that becomes
Yeah.
a whole
Oh, tell me.
whole
Animals.
time consuming, because then my priorities all go haywire.
Yeah.
Now I'm needed by so many people, but I'm fond of animals. I have adopted, I rescue
Yeah.
animals. So if you ask me, I do have 6 children, 3 dogs and
Oh.
3 cats, and 3 are boys and 3 are girls. So family is
Oh,
complete.
lovely balance. Oh, I
Yeah.
love it. Oh,
So,
do you know what?
yeah.
That's fantastic, Sabina. You know what? I have to say, I've appreciated your attitude towards this whole journey. It could have gone any other way. And you've seen like current events in Bollywood, but the way that you've taken it and the way
Mhm.
that you've worked on yourself, through so much adversity, and it is a big thing for you in the position that you are. So it could have gone either way. I'm just wondering, okay, genetically, where do you get your strength from? I want to know, mum or dad?
See, my strength comes from the principles which have been imbibed to me by my cultural upbringing. So,
Mm,
and one of the things was to be honest and to live the life of truth. That was
yeah,
one of the major principles, and I have always believed in that. And that was one thing which kept my spirits high. And like even
yeah.
though everyone went against me, I said
Mm,
I have honesty as my tool, as my weapon, and that's going to pave my way. And that did.
lovely,
So I
lovely.
think that there are these small things in life. If you just follow those principles in your life, I think you can do a lot, achieve a lot.
Right. So you know what? Great words to end this conversation with. Absolutely, absolute inspiration, Manvendra. I really can't say any more than that. And I have to thank you for coming on today. Absolutely. And listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to read a bit more, then get onto my website, annied.in. There's lots more there. And of course, you need to tune in during the week and see what I'm doing as well, because I have lots of interesting, inspiring people like Manvendra here too. Manvendra, thank you so much. It was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so
What
much.
can I say? Good luck for everything. And I will be tuning in on the 27th as well. So,
Okay.
you know, if you need, you know what? If at some point, if the connection goes, ring me and we'll try and sort it out together.
Okay. Great, great. Thanks a lot for
Right.
having me.
Thank you
Goodbye.
so much, Vanessa. As you can see, lots of people saying bye to you too. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye, bye, Shivin, and bye, Rupika. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.